He thought he could do anything, until one moment changed everything. Can confidence become arrogance? And can humility make you powerless? Let's find out. Ayaan believed he could achieve anything on his own, while his cousin Zion believed he could do nothing. Two extremes, one powerful lesson. Your talents are a trust from Allah. Confidence without humility leads to arrogance. Humility without action leads to stagnation. Allah gave you the ability, and He expects you to use it wisely. If this story touched your heart, don't miss more powerful lessons like this. Subscribe to Deeninminute now. Hit the bell and discover how Allah's guidance can transform your life. Your journey of faith and purpose starts today. He thought he could do anything until Allah taught him the hard truth balance of confidence and humility. Ayaan had always believed in himself. From the moment he could remember, he had been told he was special, talented, capable. Teachers praised his intellect, his parents admired his energy, and friends sought his advice. You can do anything, they would say, and those words settled deep in his heart. Every morning he woke up with a fire in his chest, a certainty that nothing could stop him. University degrees, competitive exams, business ventures. He approached them all with relentless determination. He believed in hard work, persistence, and his ability to bend reality to his will. But this belief, which seemed so pure and innocent, began to grow in unexpected ways. As his successes multiplied, so did a quiet pride within him. At first, it was subtle. He would feel a small thrill when he outperformed his peers, a slight satisfaction when someone sought his opinion. Over time, however, the thrill turned into an unshakable confidence, and that confidence turned into arrogance. Deep down, Ayaan thought he was invincible. He began to think that the world owed him results, that he could achieve everything alone, without ever considering the hand of Allah guiding every outcome. One evening, after closing a major business deal that had everyone talking, Ayaan leaned back in his chair and whispered to himself, "I did this. I earned this. Nobody else could have done it." His words hung in the air, heavy with pride, and for the first time, he felt a shadow in his heart. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but it was there, a whisper telling him that he was drifting too far from the truth. Meanwhile, in the same city lived Zion, Ayaan's distant cousin. Unlike Ayaan, Zion lived in the other extreme. He had grown up hearing that everything was from Allah, that humans were nothing, and that trying to achieve anything on their own was futile. Every time he failed at something, he would shrug and say, "Allah will provide." If he struggled to find a job, he would tell his family, "I am nothing. Allah will take care of it." Zion's humility was sincere, but it had become paralysis. He avoided challenges, stopped applying for opportunities, and never dared to step outside his comfort zone. He convinced himself that striving was unnecessary because Allah was in control of everything. Ayaan and Zion were polar opposites. One thought he could do anything alone, the other thought he could do nothing without Allah. Their lives were a study in imbalance, a living example of what happens when faith is misunderstood. One day, their paths crossed at a charity event for orphan children. Ayaan had volunteered his time reluctantly, seeing it more as a networking opportunity than a chance to serve. Zion, on the other hand, had been encouraged by a friend to come, but only as a passive observer, not as a participant. Watching the children, something unexpected happened. Ayaan noticed a small boy struggling to tie his shoes. The boy looked up at him with wide eyes, and in that instant, Ayaan felt a pang of humility. Not the humility he had read about or spoken of, but real, deep, human humility, the kind that shakes your confidence to its core. He bent down, knelt beside the boy, and tied his shoes carefully, feeling a warmth spread in his chest. Zion, standing a few feet away, observed silently. He watched the boy smile and run off, and for the first time, he felt a strange tug at his heart. Ayaan had acted, taken responsibility, and used his abilities, yet he had done so with a kind of grace and gentleness that was missing from Zion's life. It was confidence without arrogance, action without pride. That night, Ayaan couldn't sleep. He lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling, and reflected on his life. All his achievements, all his victories, they were impressive, yes, but had they led him closer to Allah or further away? He realized, with a jolt, that his self-belief had become a trap, a disease of the heart known as kibr, arrogance. He remembered a hadith he had once heard: no one will enter paradise with arrogance in his heart. At the same time, Zion's mind wandered back to the children. He felt a longing he had never acknowledged before, a desire to act, to strive, to contribute. Yet fear held him back, the fear of overstepping, of thinking he could achieve anything. That night, he prayed with a sincerity that surprised him. "O Allah," he whispered, "I want to do something, but I don't want arrogance. I want to trust you, but I also want to act." The next morning, their journey toward balance began in small, deliberate steps. Ayaan started to recognize that his talents were not solely his own. He began praying before major decisions, acknowledging that while effort is necessary, results belong to Allah. Each prayer, each dua, became a reminder that he was a steward of the abilities Allah had given him, not a master of the universe. Zion, encouraged by a newfound clarity, began taking small actions, applying for internships, helping neighbors with tasks, even leading a small study group at the mosque. Each step was tentative, yet transformative. He realized that humility was not an action. It was the recognition that success comes from Allah, combined with the courage to strive using the means He provides. Months passed, and both cousins experienced profound changes. Ayaan's projects now bore a deeper significance. He mentored younger students, not for recognition, but as a form of service. His confidence was tempered by gratitude, and his achievements became acts of worship. Zion, too, flourished. The more he acted with reliance on Allah, the more doors opened for him. He learned that trusting Allah does not mean abandoning effort. It means making effort sincerely and leaving the outcome to Him. Their journey reached a pivotal moment when they both entered a citywide innovation competition for youth. Ayaan led a team designing a sustainable water filtration system, while Zion presented a project focused on renewable energy solutions for local communities. During the presentations, both faced intense scrutiny, technical questions, and moments of doubt. Ayaan felt the familiar pull of pride but stopped himself, whispering, "Allah guide me and bless this effort." Zion felt fear creep in, the voice of inaction whispering, "You are nothing, why try?" He prayed silently, then answered each question with honesty and humility. The results surprised them both. Ayaan's project won first place. Zion's received a special recognition for social impact. But more than the awards, the true victory was in the lesson they had both internalized: balance. Confidence in oneself is a trust from Allah, a responsibility, and a means to act. Humility is the lens through which that trust is properly used, acknowledging that without Allah, effort is meaningless. They returned home changed. Friends noticed a serenity in Ayaan, a quiet strength in Zion. Their families observed a new maturity, a blending of courage and submission, action and reliance. In their hearts, a profound truth had taken root. Human potential is real, but it is always a gift, a trust, never an entitlement. Arrogance destroys, inaction stagnates, but balance creates a life that pleases Allah and benefits humanity. One evening, Ayaan and Zion sat under a starlit sky, reflecting on their journey. "I used to think I could do everything alone," Ayaan confessed, "but now I understand I can do so much because Allah guides my effort, and humility makes my work meaningful." Zion nodded, his eyes shining with realization. "And I used to do nothing, thinking Allah would provide everything. But now I see, trusting Allah means acting with sincerity. Striving is worship, as long as pride doesn't enter the heart." Together, they smiled, knowing that life's true mastery is not in unchecked confidence or passive submission, but in the delicate balance their Deen teaches, using one's gifts with gratitude, striving with sincerity, and always relying on Allah's wisdom. And so, their story became a living reminder to everyone around them. That balance between self-belief and humility is not just a lesson. It is a way of life, a path to contentment, purpose, and closeness to Allah. Every time someone praised their achievements, they would respond with gratitude. All praise belongs to Allah. We are merely vessels of His blessings. Years later, their stories were told at mosques, in schools, and in community gatherings. Young men and women heard of Ayaan and Zion, and the message echoed: believe in yourself, but never forget your Creator. Act humbly. Strive, but always rely on Allah. This story, though about two cousins, became a universal lesson. It reminded everyone that the gifts of intellect, strength, talent, and work ethic are not merely personal assets. They're trusts. How one uses them determines whether the heart is nourished with humility or poisoned by pride. The balance between confidence and humility is not easy to achieve, but it is the path to true success in this life and the next. So, whether you feel you could do everything or nothing at all, remember Ayaan and Zion. Trust in Allah. Use your gifts responsibly. Act with sincerity, and let humility guide your heart. This is not just a story. It is a roadmap to living a life that pleases Allah, serves humanity, and fulfills the potential He placed in you. If this story touched your heart, imagine the countless lessons waiting for you at Deeninminute. Subscribe now to explore more powerful Islamic stories. Learn timeless wisdom from the lives of our scholars and companions, and discover how the guidance of Allah can transform your life. Click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let your journey of faith and inspiration begin today. Your heart deserves it, and Allah's wisdom awaits you.